on this very day, it is one that is set apart, Wednesday the 19th of November, as the International Men's Day. It's a UN-recognized day. And joining me in studio this morning is Nderitu Njoka. He's the chairman of Maendeleo ya Wanaume, no stranger, as he's been very vocal on issues he say affect men. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
So talk to us about the significance, let's begin there, of this particular day as you understand it.
Now, this is a very, very important day. And let me first of all take this opportunity to send my condolences to my fellow man, who is really was a very courageous man and also a leader of this nation. And this International Men's Day is a very, very important day to all people, men and women. But interestingly, it has never been taken serious even by our African leaders. And you will see that when it comes, for example, the Women International Day, if you compare, you will see that people know of the Women's International Day. And when it comes now, the International Men's Day, it's like there is no action. But I've really been in the forefront to really advocate for the purpose of really addressing the challenges and the problems that men are going through.
Right.
And this is a time that now we are embarking on really going back to the boy child. We want to remember the boy because there is really a lot of problem when it comes to the way man is faring. Surely there are a lot of challenges, like for example, the alcohol and drug abuse. That's really a big challenge to the male fraternity. And also there is the issue of sexual offenses, whereby the women are really being oppressed by men. These are some of the challenges that man is going through. But what we are saying is this, that to address these problems, to address maybe, for example, sexual crimes, or rather to address insecurity, we need to go back to the life of the man from the early stages, that is from the
Which
childhood.
Insecurity are you talking about? National insecurity?
National insecurity, social insecurity, any kind of insecurity is actually male-dominated. And if you want to address that problem, we need to educate the men. We talk about security in terrorism, for example. It is man-made. So if we want to address the real problems that are facing the society, we need first of all to address the challenges that men are going through. Then we'll be automatically dealing with terrorism, insecurity, and maybe all types of crimes. But now what the society has been doing of late is really empowering the women, which is okay, empowering the girl child, no problem with that. But we have forgotten where the problem, the root cause of problems is. The root cause of the problems are with men. So it is now the high time that readers, African readers, should take the challenge that they need to also address the challenges that men are going through.
Okay. Talk to us first, backtracking a bit as we talk more about this day and some of the things perhaps going forward you'll be working on. There was a boycott you called for last week. Sex boycott.
That's it.
Talk to us about what informed that and also how did it fare?
We ended the sex boycott on Sunday.
You actually extended it.
We extended it from Tuesday up to Sunday, midnight. And I'm telling you, it was wonderful because everyone worldwide was talking about issues, challenges of men, and that was our goal. Our main objective was to create awareness to the society and to our readers that men also need to be heard. And why did we talk about sex boycott? You know well that sex is very vital, rather is a special gift of God. And because we also said that these are days where we are going to set aside for prayer and also boycott sex. So it is in order, biblically and even Quranically, that you cannot mix up the two. You cannot mix sex with prayers. So that is why we told our men, kindly desist yourselves from sex and let us first of all pray, because It is high time now that we now seek divine intervention. Some of these problems that men are going through really are really serious problems, and really we thought of having seeking divine intervention. Yes.
So we didn't see you organize prayers though to bring all these men together.
No. We had prayers on Sunday. On Sunday we had prayers. On Fridays we had prayers in mosques, and also on Saturday, on Sabbath day.
Okay. And
we even extended the prayers in all Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And we also told men, desist yourselves from sex. So it's not really about boycotting sex. It is about seeking divine intervention, because from the beginning, the way man was created, he was created for a purpose: to dominate, man to rule over the world, man to be an example even to women and children, man to read. But of late now, you see now, man has been relegated to be like the neck in the family, whereas women are now being the heads of the family. This is not the way forward.
So why did you extend the boycott?
We didn't extend the boycott. We now just reminding couples and friends, people, that it is very, very important to desist from sex when you are praying. And that is why God, maybe that is why God is not hearing our prayers. So that is why we said in all religious set days, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you go to church on Sunday, that is, you're Christian, desist yourselves from sex. Then, by doing that, then God will listen to us, because we cannot mix up these two things.
But going by most of the comments I saw on social media, discussions even on radio and various shows on television, most men did not take this seriously. In fact, to them it was laughable, even the calls. Do people take you seriously and what you stand for and what you champion?
Well, let me say this, There's some men who think that maybe they are comfortable in their lives. But there is one big problem about men, and I must say it here. There is what we call pretense. There is that disease that I'm calling pretense syndrome, whereby men think, or rather men have pretense that they are comfortable with their lives. But I'm just warning them that it is high time that you speak out. If you see your neighbor's house on fire, just go and help put off the fire, because if you don't do that, then your house will also be touched. It is high time that we men also help our fellow men who are in problems. If you see a fellow man maybe not having work, don't just laugh because you have job. At least help, do something. We have so many boys in the streets. What are men doing? Men are not doing anything. But look at the girls in the streets. Girls are being helped by fellow women. They are adopting these girls and helping the girls. But we men, we are not our neighbor's keeper. We are not our brother's keeper, which is very wrong. We must fight for ourselves. We must also try to solve the problems that we are really going through.
Kuru Okot has tweeted and says, ask him to lead the hunt for those filthy men who stripped that woman at Embasava naked, then we can take him serious. What do you say to that?
The issue of stripping is awkward, and you remember I talked about it over the media, and I said we condemn these with the strongest words.
But also maintain there's a responsibility on the women to dress appropriately.
Of course, we have actually drafted a bill that we are calling Decency Draft Bill, which we have submitted to the Attorney General and also the Legal and Justice Committee. And we are hoping that the bill is going to be discussed come February. The bill talks about decency. Decency is not just about dressing. It is the way we behave in public. Because, for example, the bill talks about banning sagging of trousers. You see, there are some men who walk in town and they're sagging their trousers and showing off their buttocks. That is indecency. The bill has banned micro miniskirts. You see, there is a difference between a miniskirt and a micro miniskirt, whereby when these lady sits down.
So your bill clearly stipulates, it draws the clear line on what this dressing should be and should not be. So there are no gray areas.
Let me say this. The bill is really protecting women and men. For example, it's not only women who are being stripped. We have a lot of men who are being stripped. Maybe men think that because they are not circumcised, they strip them and they mash them in town. That is a crime. It is illegal to strip somebody. It is really a violation of human rights. Talk about some men who have been stripped because of they have not taken bath. They are stripped in front of women,
so
in front of children.
I want to stand and ask you to give me an example of what is short to you so that we can have an understanding of this length.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing a skirt. I hope our camera is okay. I can stand now. So this is
That's wonderful. You're decent.
But where is indecent? Point to me with this. Use this, my pen.
Yeah.
Where does indecent begin?
It begins here. It begins.
So when a skirt there, that's indecent.
Yeah, because now when you sit down, you are not also comfortable. You know, you start even pulling your skirt down, you see?
But if I'm comfortable, you perceive me not to be comfortable. No, that's you, not me.
No, let me give you an example.
Yes.
If for example, I myself as Derito Joka, I remove my shirt, not even my trouser, and then I walk in town without my shirt, it will create a lot of disturbance. People will wonder, is our friend Joka in order to walk in town without a shirt?
So you're saying your bill will have those very clear, the centimeters, how long skirts should be?
No, not really about the centimeters.
Because then how then will that be clear? Because anyone then will be left to their...
When we talk about a micro mini skirt, for example, it is the size that I've showed you. In decency, everyone is able to see decency and indecency. Okay. And let me tell you, some of these clothes that our women are wearing, when they're going to visit their parents, their moms and dad, they change those clothes. So that shows that the clothes that they're wearing are not comfortable, even to the elderly. That there is indecency of a certain level.
The only concern with that, Njoka, is that at the end of the day, it still leaves room for the same challenge we have now, that everyone will interpret for themselves what they deem to be indecent, what they think is micro-mini, because there are ladies who will wear what you just indicated and be very comfortable.
The bill is very clear. The bill talks about even transparent.
It does not clearly outline issues of how long it is, because that then even would dictate that perhaps even men walk around with tape measures to be able to go and check how long it is, if that's the level.
If the skirt is below, is just slightly above the knees, that is okay. But there is a great difference between a mini skirt and a micro mini skirt. Of course, these clothes that women are wearing, it is also good to seek advice from their husbands or their friends, because you need to ask your friend or your mom or your friend, how am I looking when I go out there?
Yes.
And let me say this, indecency is not just about dressing. Talk about the behaviors, you know, when you are out there. For example, there is a lot of out there is a lot of for example, nude statues that have been placed in streets. Like, for example, there's the nude statue that is in the High Court of Kenya that has been stripped. That this statue has always been there. The bill has banned nude statues in public, and it has but exempted in the museums.
Yes.
The bill has banned pornography. The bill has banned brothels. These are some of the problems that have not been clearly addressed by the Constitution or by the Penal Code. And that is what is lacking. So this bill is going to protect our women, our girls, our boys and men. Let us have sanctity in the streets. And I think that is where we are going wrong. Let us not justify indecency, but let us also at the same time condemn stripping, whether for men or women.
So what do you say to what Kuru Okot is saying? Why are we not seeing you more vocal and championing, you know, being able to go after these men that we saw strip this woman?
Of course, that's the work of the police. You know, what these men would have done is to arrest this maybe woman and take her to the police.
We are not asking that you arrest them. It's just you being vocal.
I have already made a statement, and I said I condemn the stripping, whether for women or men, and this action should be taken. Action should be taken.
All right. So what are you doing for this day, for the International Men's Day? Is there anything organized?
Yeah. We have embarked on addressing the challenges of the boys.
Okay.
One, we are saying that around this time, it is time to circumcise boys. And we are trying to tell the readers that it's not just about circumcision. You know, there are so many men who are circumcised and are adults. And when you look at their behaviors, it's as if they are not circumcised. It's not just about the cut. cutting the foreskin.
What about the
It
cultures
is
that don't
about
believe in
education,
circumcision?
educating these boys.
What about the cultures that do not believe in the rights, the circumcision?
Of course, that is where we are coming from. Now, it's about educating these boys. We need to have rites of passages, whereby not just even boys who go through the passages, but also girls should go through.
So granted, you say you want to encourage circumcision and have that education which happens during these processes. Yeah. What happens to the boys and the men who don't have this as a practice in their culture? How do you reach those?
We are very clear on that, because we are saying girls and boys should have these rite passages. And mostly the girls these young people of the age of 13 years. Okay. And for the girls, we are calling that rite of passage FGM. FGM, not really the FGM that you may think about. No. Is female gender matriculation. That talks about now educating the girls on the next level, because now they are becoming young adults.
But are you not then mixing issues if you go to the girls as well? Isn't the focus on the men? And
no. It's not just about, organization is not just about
if you have too many things, you will not excel in the one thing you should focus on, perhaps one would argue.
Excuse me, when a man speaks, he speaks on behalf of the family, on behalf of the wife and children. We cannot speak for ourselves alone, because we are men and we have been given that right to dominate and to give advice. And let me tell you something, the challenges of boys are quite a lot. Look at, for example, in Somali or in Samburu, what is happening? Girls have been rescued and taken to rescue centers and educated, whereas the boys are just left there herding cattle. In Meru, the same thing. Boys are shooting Mera. No one is talking about it. Boys have a lot of challenges. And if we are going to educate, or rather help the girl alone, who is going to marry this girl? Okay. It is true that no girl would want to be married by an educated man or boy. So what we are saying here, let us have equality in everything, in education, even in the society. Let us have equality and let us exercise equality.
Okay, and we will end it there, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too.
The very best to you.